running out of time, Anubarak. How far are we from the exit?
Not far. We have entered the Upper Kingdom. The exit should lead us to the base of the glacier itself. However, there are still hidden traps and pitfalls to account for.
Take cover!
Marcus!
The entire passage collapsed. There's no time to dig through this. I'll have to move quickly and find my own way out. Hopefully Anubarak and the others survived. At last.
Faithless coward.
Finally. I'll be singed if I get too close to those flames. At last. I'll need this gold for when I reach the glacier. At last. Finally. At last. More of the Nerubians' blasted mechanisms. I'll have to time this perfectly. Frostmourne hungers. At last. Frostmourne hungers. At last. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Finally. Another quake? At last. What is it now? This is more like it. At last. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. At last. More gold. This might help us later. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. I'll make sure you suffer. For the Lich King. At last. Frostmourne hungers. Now, Frostmourne. For the Lich King. Speak, fool. What is it now? Finally. Frostmourne hungers. At last. This is more like. I'll make sure you suffer. Speak, fool. At last. Finally. At last. Your pain shall be legendary. For the Lich King. This is more like it. You will know endless torment. Tread lightly. At last. Your pain shall be legendary. Finally. No one orders me around. At last. Finally. This is more like it. At last. Faithless coward. I'll make sure you suffer. You will know endless torment. Your pain shall be legendary. What is it now? Tread lightly. Speak, fool. Finally. At last.
Inventory
Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. At last. This is more like it. Finally. This is more like it. Tread lightly.
Inventory is full.
At last. What is it now? Finally. Frostmourne.
I must find a way across this strange obstacle.
This is more like it. At last. This is more like it. Finally. At last. This is more like it. For the Lich King. Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. At last. Finally. This is more like it. At last. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. At last. Finally. This is more like it. At last. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. At last. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it.
Anubarak, you made it.
I see now why the Lich King chose you as his champion, Death Knight. Few men could have survived this labyrinth alone. My might cannot be matched.
Speak, fool. Now, Frostmourne.
Another earthquake. We must hurry, Death Knight.
Frostmourne hungers. At last.
Something's breaking through.
Defensive positions!
No one orders me. Speak, fool. This is more like it. At last.
Time is fleeting.
What is it now? Frostmourne hunger. Tread lightly.
My might cannot be matched.
No one orders me. Finally. At last. Tread lightly.
I serve only the frozen throne.
No one orders me around. Speak, fool. This is more like it. No one orders me around.
I have heard the summons.
Tread lightly. Speak, fool. At last. No one orders me around.
We're running out of time. We must find the exit.
Your pain.
They're blocking the way to the exit. We have to fight our way through them to reach it.
Speak, fool. What is it now? Speak, fool. No one orders me. What is it now? No one orders me around. Tread lightly.
Time is fleeting.
What is it now? Speak, fool. Frostmourne hungers. What is it now? Tread lightly. No one orders me around. Speak.
I have heard the summons.
No one orders me.
Speak.
What is it now? This is more
I
like
serve only the frozen throne.
tread lightly.
My might cannot be matched.
What is it now? Finally. Ah, at last. This is more like it.
Now quickly, head through that door. The exit to the surface lies just beyond.
It'll be good to see the sun again.
Remember, Illidan and the true battle still await us in the world above. Hopefully our trek through the Dark Earth bought us the precious time we needed.